Hello and welcome to Know Your MP with me, Dheeraj Singh. In this program, we try to bring you up close and personal with your elected representatives, members of parliament whom you have chosen in this, the 16th Lok Sabha. Our guest today is a first-time MP, but his political journey started much earlier. Please allow me to welcome Mr. PP Mohammed Faizal, Member of Parliament from Lakshadweep. A very warm welcome to you, Mr. Faizal.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dheeraj.
You did your MBA from Calicut University. Did you have anything else in mind other than politics as your career?
In fact, I was looking for, even when you ask me while I was doing my MBA, see, my mission statement was to become the Chief Executive Officer of Lakshadweep. So, as you know that Lakshadweep, we do not have much establishments as a part of the business aspect. The only sustainable industry in Lakshadweep is tourism only.
Right.
Which needs to be opened up at this scenario. While I was doing my MBA, my concept, my vision, my dream was to establish such things that which will bring in employment for the people of island. As government, we cannot ensure 100% employment for everybody. You know that our population is around 64,000 as of now, and we have 6,000 people who got employed in government sector. On the other hand, we have a lot of students studying in Kerala and other states.
Right, in the mainland.
Pursuing their higher educations. And they also wanted some more other jobs, either in government sector or in private sector in the island. So
rather than just working in the mainland, they should come back to Lakshadweep.
Yes, actually whatever they have gained during their education, their experience, we should bring back to the Lakshadweep, and we wanted to grow our island, which can be a resource or a revenue generation for the people.
So what made you change your mind from becoming a CEO of Lakshadweep to fighting elections?
I am on the same post that I feel now, because I become an MP.
Right.
I still feel that, see, I have already discussed my views with our administrator, and the areas which I wanted to develop, which I was having a vision in MBA, when I say I wanted to become a Chief Executive Officer, the same dream I am taking here also. The areas which need to be developed, especially the tourism sector, fisheries, coconut, and employment generation. So these areas I am preparing a comprehensive proposal for developing these islands. And you know that Lakshadweep, of course, we have only fish and coconut as our cultivation there as of now. All other things we have to depend either Kerala or Mangalore for our livelihood. Even from rice to salt, everything have to come from mainland.
But why is it that Lakshadweep as a tourist destination has not been developed despite having so much potential for tourism?
This is an area we wanted to I should say to my predecessors. So I don't want to blame them that way, but the keen interest area, like the tourism, which was not given that much important, either maybe by my predecessors have not taken it to that level seriously, or they don't want the tourism to develop in the other way. So the tourism is the only industry in Lakshadweep which can bring sustainable growth, because environmental wise it is a fragile environment. We live on the corals, like it is a matured coral. The island is itself a coral. So we can't have big industries or factories there in the island, which is not suiting the environment.
Right.
The environment which suits there is the tourism, which kudrati aisa bana diya, jaisa bolta hai ki the God have created in a much beautiful way.
Right.
Yeah, it's like crystal clear water, and people get attracted to that. Now the problem here is that people, that to going to Lakshadweep needs an entry permit there. And entry permit system, the entry to the island is restricted. For any person, even in Indians, those who have a valid passport also, they can't have a free fare or free travel as you travel in other part of the country, because it is restricted. So that entry permit system restricts the people going there. Of course,
but is that a good thing or a bad thing to have?
Both aspects is there. It is a good and it's a bad also. Good in the sense it is a prawn zone area where islands are there in the periphery of the country, where nowadays we feel the infiltration and security aspect, of course. For that, we need people who the know-how of the people, the identity of the people who goes the island. Of course, that is there. But the present system is little strict wise also. Even the person who is sitting in front of me, you wanted to go to Lakshadweep.
Right.
If you have all the things, your passport and everything, but you need to fill up a form and make the application, go for the police verification and all.
So these act as deterrents for tourism.
Exactly.
For people who want
So
to come and explore the place.
In that aspect, what I would suggest is that, like, we go to Maldives, Singapore, Malaysia, Sri Lanka,
Right.
where on arrival you are getting the visa. Like, I think that the last parliament have taken that issue also, because the budget was saying in that way that like every island we have police department, security personnel, everything, and we have a connectivity, air connectivity to Agatti Island. So why can't we think of having a system that if you want to travel, you get a flight ticket and land in Agatti, provided you should have a permanent accommodation there, a confirmed booking of a hotel or any person who are there in the island. If you suppose you know me,
Right.
so I am sponsoring you to that island. If I am providing an accommodation, if that is confirmed, you can fly down to Agatti. From Agatti, if you show your valid passport, they will issue the visa. I mean entry permit. So that system softens the all these hassles in between the papering of it.
Right.
So if that comes up, of course, the economy, the revenue, you will definitely buy something from the island. Of course, we have a lot of merchandise like in the handicrafts, our food items, our traditional things, which you will be love to spend it there. In turn, it will create our revenue.
Right.
More.
As a first-time candidate who has never fought Lok Sabha elections, how did you feel? Were you intimidated by the whole process of fighting elections, or sort of you were a natural?
Even though I contested for the first time, but I was very closely associated with all the election process, because as I said earlier, I was holding the post of Lakshadweep Students Association General Secretary. So the students organization plays an important role in conduction of elections and phasing and campaigning, all those aspects. So the experience was not new to me, but as a candidate, when I contested, it's a different experience.
Right.
But activities wise, Lakshadweep, it is a far-flung area, geographically isolated by itself. Each island is far from other island. So as said, it is 36 islands are there, in which 10 are inhabited, and going to these 10 islands, it's a task.
Even though it's the smallest constituency with the smallest number of voters, but it's very different from any other mainland constituency, because you are connected and you have all your voters in more or less one place, but you are like spread across 10 islands. How different is it? How different? Please, we'd like to know how different it is campaigning in a constituency like Lakshadweep.
It is like if you take one island, for example, my island, hometown, Androt is my island.
Right.
So this island have around 9,000 to 10,000, nearly 9,000 voters. This 9,000 voters, I have to be in one island for at least 1 week to cover entire house visit. So first of all, I finish this island. I'll have our public speech and all in the evening. Then the next, or looking for another conveyance, or a boat, or a Pablo boat, or a speed boat, I'll go to the other island, Kalpeni. There we have around 3,000, 4,000 voters. There also we'll visit another week there.
Okay.
Like that, it is spread over. Like it is not one place you are talking to all your people who are there for as an outers there. This is different area. We have 34 even polling stations in the island. It's a different island, and collecting them all things and their demands, meeting the people, indulging with the issues. All those things is a very, very difficult task, and moreover, like a candidate who is in mainland, I mean this in the Kerala or any part of India, they have a media support also behind from them. And in island we don't have that. Even whatever happening there, at least we use Facebooks for the publicity part, social media is there. As other live television or telecasting things, it is not in the island. So it's entirely a difficult process, even though we have only 50,000 or below 50,000 voters. It is a big task when concerned to other constituencies.
So even though the numbers are small, connectivity being a problem, it takes a lot of time to campaign and sort of reach out to everyone.
Exactly.
You were up against a candidate whose father and him had been like in 11 terms between them, 10 with Mr. PM Said and Hamdullah Said, one term. How was the task to sort of take on this big family of politicians?
It was a very big task. One should say it is like Lakshadweep. It is a pro-Congress islands like this. Said Sabah was representing Lakshadweep for quite a long time.
Right.
And he was holding high portfolios in the ministry and the government of India. A lot of high posts like Deputy Speaker, Telecommunication Minister, Broadcast, then he became the Power Minister. So even the Congress, he was at the decision-making level leader.
Right.
So to fight with such mighty person and say their family, their grassroots level, rooted party people, it was very difficult. But when we considered, when you compared both, like Said Saab and Hamdullah concentrated morely on Delhi. He was rather than a Delhiite. His availability in the island was little less in his term.
Okay.
So people were not that happy with him, and there was a lot of issues actually pending. As I said, health issues was there, transport issue was there, employment generation was an issue there, even creating projects for the islanders. And most of the time people depend on him for as you know that we have the MP is the only politically that
right, since there's no state assembly or
state
anything,
assembly is there. For each and everything, small thing, people used to call us. Like I am also getting n number of calls in a day. So simple things. Now this experience the other constituent MP may not be facing, because they have their own state assembly, chief ministers, MLAs and all those there. So we are MPs.
So in Lakshadweep, the MP's position is very key.
Very keen in the sense for each and everything we have to be in touch with the people. And our people are very simple in heart. Like they are very sensitive also. Like if they call us and we don't attend the calls, they feel otherwise, like he is not attending my call. I think that acted me in a best way.
So did his absence help you in a way?
Of course. He was not in the constituency for quite a long time, as I said. And his communication to the people was also not in that up to the mark.
But whereas he comes from a family that has been tried and tested by the people, they have sent them to parliament again and again. You came on a clean slate. You did not have a family history. How did you convince the voters of your constituency?
My campaign point was that also. See, I am there with you all the time. Wherever I go, I take with you all people with me. I mean, I am there to you because I am a person studied. Take treatment from the government hospital. My children are studying there, and my utna baitna, my sleep and everything with them. I am an islander total, 100%. I am not a person from Delhi. I am not a person who are married from outside. I am one among you, and I don't need anybody to tell me what you want, because I may be new to you, but I am not to your concerns. I am always with you. So that I could convince them, and the promise which I have given in what are the areas which we need the development. And you will be surprised to hear from me now saying that a 6 MB file, if I sit in front of the computer, it takes 2 hours to download it. So from such area, I have given the confidence that on all areas, like if you take health wise, even anything happens unknowingly, like if it is serious ailment happened, there is no facility to treat a person in Lakshadweep.
We'll talk more about this in after the break. Time for us to slip into a short break. We'll see you on the other side. Keep watching us. Welcome back. After the break, we are talking to Mr. PP Mohammed Faizal, Member of Parliament from Lakshadweep. As a first-time MP, it's been barely a month since you took oath. How was your first experience of coming into Parliament and sort of learning the ropes of how to be a parliamentarian?
It is a wonderful experience, saying that it's something like the crown of democracy, where I feel the people who have given me an opportunity to represent them in an area where 543 MPs are sitting together and I am one among them.
Right.
Which gives me pleasure at the time, the responsibility which is shouldered on me by my people for their concerns, their beliefs, their dreams to come true, which is something very great.
Right. But you can take comfort in the fact that this particular Lok Sabha has the maximum number or a big number of first-time MPs.
Exactly.
So, and it is across parties.
Yes.
How do you interact with them? How is the interaction with the other MPs?
It's something like I'm going to the first standard of the school, taking that a lot of things have to learn how the house runs. So I can't all on a sudden stand up and ask a question. They're all laid on procedures, principles. How do you place a question? How do you communicate in the house? What is the mode of communication to the government?
Right.
It should not be like directly. It should be through the Madam Speaker, and all those things. And of course, like me, most of they are freshers. It is this 1 month old, like this. Session is going on till August 14th. We will come to know how to be present and how this house is functioning and how do we present the things and grievances of our constituency. Definitely it will.
If I were to ask you what is the most peculiar, unique feature of this present crop of MPs who are first timers, what would you say it is?
It's like the young MPs. They're all very user friendly or acquainted with the IT sector. Like in the sense of now, if I have to use a computer, I'm very familiar with using my social media, internet, printing and making all those presentation part, even PowerPoint presentation, how do things like, which is very easy going with the scenario, with the system of recent development happened. So it is very easy to communicate and easy to plan accordingly how the thing should go. Like it's all we are all youngsters, like who we can walk through togetherly. So which will definitely place the things in an easy way, rather than who, if I talk to a senior person, he may not be able to understand what is optical fiber cabling.
Truly the Lok Sabha of the age of information, where everything is being shared at very high speeds, and you can reach out to a lot of people.
Exactly.
What would you think are the biggest challenges of your constituency? What things you'd like to change? What things you'd like to make better in your 5 years as MP?
Exactly. The first and foremost thing I would, my challenge before me is the developing the transport sector. As you know, it is all isolated, far-flung, geographically isolated area. The connectivity which bring in a scientific way and professionalism bringing in that only will sustain in improving the connectivity. As you know that a place where bus does not reach or train does not reach, the development is very minimal and it is very minus in that way. Like to Lakshadweep also, we depend all the time either to Kochi or Calicut or Mangalore for our daily needs. Now improving the connectivity between these mainland and the island and intra-island would be my prime concern for taking Lakshadweep into the mainstream. Second thing I would like to do is that, as I said earlier, to improve the IT sector, where we have access to the internet is very less, even telephone calls, mobile access, it is, even I take a smartphone to island, I have no use of that other than calling them, because WhatsApp or Facebook or all social media, it is no use of it. For that we have a problem, like our satellites, the bandwidth which BSNL is giving is very less. So to improve the bandwidth, either we have to take the concern of the ISRO, because BSNL have to pay a huge amount to the ISRO for giving us big bandwidth, and in turn BSNL have to take the money from us, which is also BSNL is having a hurdle because the economic status of the island is not that much.
Right.
So finding a solution between, there are two things. One is emission team is there, where they have another system of doing other than BSNL, where they have base terminal in the island, that VSAT. So first of all, we have to just remove all our traditional old that copper cabling and change it with the optical fiber cable, which is hardly, it is 4 kilometers in an island.
Right.
So first of all, our prime area to be developed is that in placing the optical fiber cabling in the island, which will 80,000 times be faster than the present one. If that comes, then if it is passing through this and base terminal transmits minimum 100 Mbps space on the upwards and downwards. Upwards in the sense which the coal goes to outside,
Right.
and downwards intra-island, which can be developed in a much and sustainable way. And it is very cheaper in the sense, like, around 15 crores rupees will come for the bandwidth. All implementation part is 50 crores per island. I think it will come for the implementation. Like all island will be having these base terminals. From each island, the head will be covered at the capital. All the messages will be coming here, and from here it will screen the things and filter the things, and then they will send it. So it will take, the project is already ready for me, with me, and I am sure that they will support me in all this. And if that is placed, it will take another one and a half year to establish everything, which will definitely minimize the gap between the islands and mainland. Of course, for any certificate issues, I mean, e-office, you know that. So everything, we go to mainland for study purpose and all those things, the sponsor letters, their certificates and everything can be online if this system is passed. So that is my second.
What about tourism? How to sort of...
Tourism again is a problem. Like as you asked earlier, why the tourism has not taken the desired level of height after, so many years. The main problem, what I should say, is that Lakshadweep administration have not come with so far the policy of tourism so far. So the person who wanted to invest in tourism, of course, the lands and properties are reserved to the local islanders, because the investor, the license holder may be the island. The islander can have a joint hand with any investor from the outside also. That is the way we do it.
Right.
For an investor, always look for a policy. How the government is making a policy which is attractive to the investors, or is there any hurdle? When there is no policy, no investor, no people will come for developing any idea. So my prime concern is that I have already taken the matter with the administrator to publish a tourism policy, which we want high-end, low-volume tourist. We are very concerned about our economic, our ecological status, our environment.
Right.
We don't want to give our resource, water resource, which is very limited, to the tourist. We want the person who are coming with an investment policy, they should have their own desalination plants or RO plant, so they can purify the seawater and make it to the tourists. We don't want to give the power generated, which is entirely subsidized for the local people. Those who comes for the investment, they should find their own power generation system. So the same time, islanders are not suffered. At the time, tourism also be.
But how does the investor make the island attractive to tourists who want to come? What are the activities one can look forward to?
I should say it is even investor need not do anything. It's by its nature it is good. Why these infrastructure we make, but even we stay in the 5-star hotel, we enjoy the nature.
Right.
The nature, Kudrati, it's like that. God has created our island, the most beautiful one, I should say. The lagoons, vast lagoons, which we say, there we have scuba diving, water sports activity, snorkeling, and n number of activities related with the sea. There are marine wealth awareness programs where you can see the organisms growing under the corals grows, how it is, and you will be surprised to know that a coral grows half a centimeter in a year. So you can imagine how many long years might have taken to form this island. It's of course
Right.
So that's why we are very much concerned about our environment. We are totally against Goa. We don't want that much crowd, which will spoil.
You don't want big volumes.
Big
You want
volumes. We want
high-end but small
high,
volumes.
but those people who is capable of doing that.
Right.
We want that such people, and we have uninhabited islands also where people do not live. There we are having a public-private participation mode projects coming up. So tourism is another part which will definitely give employment to the people and the revenue to the islanders.
Right, right. In most of India, the way people have voted, there seemed to be a wave for Modi. How was this perceived in your particular constituency?
Yeah, it's like it's Modi was giving. I'm not saying that Modi. What I feel is that the people of India, like youngsters, even I have listened to his speech in SRCC college. So he was giving a speech to high intellectual peoples. He is giving the confidence that e-governance part, how he has built up Gujarat and all. Even though I'm sitting on the opposition side,
right.
But whatever the message given to the people, it's a reality now. People have accepted. The same way which I conveyed to the people, I'm not saying that it is Faizal's wave in the island. So my vision of development, what are the things like in the medical sector? I told, like, as in between I'm interfering the other subject, the medical area, which even if an evacuation, like a serious ailment happens,
right,
there is no facility in the island to treat them. Suppose a heart attack comes or some accident happens. So it has to evacuate to Kochi by the helicopter, which incurs a huge expenditure for that particular person. And of course, islanders' economic status is that much, it's not that big. So they have to take money from lenders or girvi rakhna padta hai. So these are all reality, the facts people facing for quite long time. For the last 40 years, we have been facing all these things. So what is the solution for this? It is not his fault that we do not have a facility here. It is a government fault. So all the deserving support should be given to them. Now for that we are coming with a proposal of ensuring.
Mr. Faizal, I'm afraid we've run out completely of time. Thanks so much for coming to our studio and talking to us, and wish you a very happy and eventful and fruitful 5-year term.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So that was Mr. Mohammed Faizal, Member of Parliament from Lakshadweep. We'll be back once again with another MP. Until then, this is me, Dheeraj Singh, saying thanks for watching. Namaskar.